Y'all, I know that there's a lot going on. I scrolled through my FYP and I can feel it and I see it. And I think more than anything right now, I would encourage you to take a moment and experience something that's real. So give me a moment to explain. Everyone's talking about these things that are happening, right? And a lot of it is stuff that we've invented, that humans have invented. These policies and these laws and these entities that govern and these money systems are all human invented. They came out of ideas. Now, the stuff that's real, this, 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 right? These things are real and tangible. And I think when we get really heavily invested in these ideas, and rightfully so, because these ideas have power, I don't want to discount that. They do have power, and they do have consequence in real life. But getting wrapped up in ideas can take us out of our bodies and take us out of the ability to be grounded. And I want to point out that this is a strategy that is being used on us right now. It is meant to confuse us and to dysregulate us and to get us into this fight or flight place, because that's when we don't make wise choices and we become reactionary. And I've talked before about the difference between responding and reacting. And if, a fly lands on your head, the reaction is to try and swat it away quick. But the fly is faster and you're not going to catch it. So the response is, rather than to waste the energy and the frustration and the time to try and swat it away knowing you'll fail, you just sit and realize the fly will eventually go away. So there's two different ways to respond. And the reaction is this bright anxiety and fear and panic and dysregulation, and that's exactly where they want you. And so my hope for you on this Sunday, on Groundhog Day here in the United States, is to ground yourself. Find friends or family members that you can hold your hands with or hug and do something together. Or if you'd rather be alone, go out and put your feet on the ground, even if it's cold, just for a minute, just to feel it, to feel your skin on the ground, to be connected to what's real. Because this is going to be a long process. It will not be fixed next week. And it will get worse before it gets better. I've said before too, one of my favorite quotes in the entire world, that people don't change until the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of changing. Now, I know a lot of you, especially if this is on your FYP, already know what I know and already feel what I feel. So you're 10 steps ahead of the 90 million Americans who didn't vote. So until those 90 million Americans feel the pain of this in the same ways that we are feeling and experiencing the pain in this, it's not going to change yet. And that's not me trying to scare you. That's just me understanding history and psychology. And that's how this is going to go. And so if we can accept that reality, we don't have to like it. You can be angry at it, but you have to accept that that is the reality. It will get worse first. And so necessarily we need to take care of ourselves and we need to take care of each other. So go to the mirror and smile at yourself, because you are beautiful. Don't get all self-conscious on me. I don't want to hear about how your hair or your shirt or you haven't showered or whatever. You're beautiful. You have air in your lungs, which means that you are existing on this planet right now with me in a universe that is ever expanding and yet has no end. And there's no possible way that this is the end. It just means we necessarily have to wait for the right moment for change. And it will come. I'm confident in that. So root yourself and ground yourself. Read out loud too. I do that sometimes too, because the cadence of hearing your own voice can be soothing, and it's real. You can hear it audibly. You can feel it in your throat. You can touch pages with your hands. This is all stuff that psychologists talk about a lot. I'm just not, certified. So I learned it with my own experience, that when I was in moments of despair, in my darkest moments, in my darkest days, the thing that helped was to find grounding. To remember that while all of that stuff is scary and real and tangible, I need to also know how to find a way to avoid reacting and instead responding. Because reacting is that bright energy up here, right? It's bright and loud and sharp like a paper cut. It's anxiety and it's panic and it's urgent and it's right now. And that's the place where our frontal cortex, like the powerhouse of logic and reasoning, is not reacting. Because this is our reptilian brain going, we got to get out of the... And so we've got to find a way to say, okay, anxiety, I hear you. Panic, I hear you. Now is not the time. I am safe. And ground yourself so that we can chat and have time to figure out how to best respond together. Because if we act collectively in a responding way, oh, friends, that's where we are powerful and unstoppable. So find rooting, find grounding, get outside, listen to music, eat food, drink water, exercise, do yoga, roll around, even just do something to remember what's real and to remember your own truth. And to know that today is going to be a beautiful day because we're alive and in it. And that's pretty miraculous. And I'm grateful for that. I hope you are too.